Okay, welcome everybody to the Warren County Board of Supervisors meeting. Today's date is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. The time is 5 p.m. and we are in the Board of Supervisors room. Would you please join me in doing the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And let's take roll call to see if we have all a quorum here.
McIntyre?
Here.
Peter?
Here.
Snell?
Here, we are all here, we're ready to go then. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve
Motion
consent agenda.
on the consent agenda? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by McIntyre. Vote, please. Roll call.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Sorry.
It's okay. Aye.
Peter?
Goodness.
Aye.
Snell?
Aye. Consent agenda is approved. Item number 2, claims.
Don't have any
Take
questions.
just a moment, folks, and review those if you haven't already done so. We're only approving $649,220.
I know. It's
That's
pretty
a
cheap.
pretty big one this year, or this month, I should say.
Certainly can do that every month.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the claims?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Motion by McIntyre,
Second.
second by Heater. Roll call.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye. Item number 3 is set property tax levy hearing for April 2nd, 2024 at 9:30 a.m.
I'll make a motion to.
Excuse me,
Well, let's just wait a second. Let's have Megan, would you please come up and procedurally help us to know what we're doing here?
So this is the property tax levy hearing that's required per HF 718. It kind of replaces the max levy hearing that you would do prior. And so it's a hearing that has to happen before we can actually have the budget hearing.
have we had any of these go out to the papers or anything yet?
No,
Okay.
no. So we just need to set it right now, and
Right.
then it'll get published in the paper 10 to 20 days before. So we don't, I won't actually submit it to the paper until the first week in March, I think is when I'll submit it.
I would advocate for the meeting to be moved to the evening, not only my own participation, but the public.
Mr. Heater, any?
Did you make a motion, Crystal?
No, I just am putting it out there that we move the time of the meeting to an evening.
I have no issues with that. I mean, I can be flexible.
So, Megan, why don't we, well, if there's a motion, we can take possible action on this. Is there any other question regarding, for Megan, while she's up
What time
here?
are you thinking, Crystal? Like 5?
I think 6 would be better for the public.
Is that a motion?
Yes, I will make a motion to set the property tax levy hearing for April 2nd, 2024 for 6 p.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
McIntyre?
Aye,
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye.
thank you.
Okay, item number 4 deals with board appointments for Board of Adjustment, Historic Preservation Commission, Weed Commissioner, and Zoning Commission. I would like to move that we table any discussion on this and move it to our work session agenda, which also it is listed at, and hold our conversations regarding those items.
Good idea.
Okay, so we're going to, I guess procedurally, we're just going to table that and move it to the discussion agenda. Item 5, consider the opioid settlement regarding bankruptcy of Endo International. This is, we had discussed this last week at the work session, and there's a filing that needs to happen prior to the 22nd, the end of the day on the 22nd. My understanding is that everything is all ready to go, assuming we approve this settlement. Do I have a motion?
I will make a motion to consider the opioid settlement regarding the bankruptcy of Indio International PLC et al., that we approve this bankruptcy.
Okay, I got a motion.
I will second that motion.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye. Motion carried. So Michaela, does that give you all what you need? Okay. Okay. Item number 6, consider request from the auditor's office regarding destroying meeting notes with possible action. Can you describe what we need to deal with?
These are just our personal notes that are outdated. The board minutes have already been typed up and everything, and this is just old inventory that needs to be taken care of.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the auditor's request to destroy notes from old meetings where minutes have already been transcribed.
Transcribed and published, yes.
Transcribed and published. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye. Okay, consider approval of a 28E agreement with the City of Des Moines for public improvement project on the Border Street rehabilitation from 80th Avenue to 85th Avenue with possible action. And we have County
This is-
Engineer Hill here.
This is the City of Des Moines project I touched on during one of our budget meetings. Typically, we would get these agreements well in advance of when they want to go to letting, but Des Moines kind of dropped the ball on this one, and they want to go to letting next month, so.
Oh, moving it up a little faster.
Yeah, so they can't really accept bids unless we approve this, because we're paying for half of it, it'd be about $200,000 for an asphalt overlay. It's typical 2080 agreement, that's their maintenance of the road. They design the project, they're gonna inspect the project, and we're participating in 50% of the costs.
Do we know how the timing's going to work out on this when if they're going to go for bid letting, I assume, do you know timing when they're planning to start?
It's typical with any construction project, they'll have a wide window when they can do the project, and that way more contractors want to bid on it. So if you say, we want you to start at the beginning of April, less contractors going to be able to do that, so they won't bid on it. So they're wanting to get it done this spring still, but if it falls near the end of somebody's schedule, then it'll get done this spring, summer, fall, sometime this calendar year.
Just curious, will your office be involved with some of the communication, or is Des Moines handling the total project from start to finish, including notification to all the property owners?
Yeah, Des Moines handling it. The road should remain open. I don't think it's going to be closed throughout the project. Should be down to one lane and flaggers typically. But yeah, it'd be a Des Moines project where they'd be doing all the traffic control and all the notifying and.
Okay. Any questions here from other board members?
Just keep in mind that this $200,000 is in the budget to be approved yet this year, so it's not already approved funds. And it won't, I had them put in the 2080 agreement that we wouldn't pay anything till after July 1st, so they can't send us, if they do it in the spring, they can't send us a bill that wasn't budgeted for, so.
So it'd be in the upcoming budget.
Yep.
Any further questions from anybody else?
You had already put this as a line item in your budget already, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've already seen it.
All right, I have no questions.
Any further discussion?
No, thank you.
Okay. Can I have a motion to
Yep.
approve the 2080 agreement with the City of Des Moines?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2080 agreement with the City of Des Moines for the public improvement project on Border Street rehabilitation from 80th Avenue to 85th Avenue.
A second?
I'll make a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye. Just so everybody understands, 85th Street, or 85th Avenue, excuse me, is Fleur Drive.
Yes. Okay. pretty important.
It's a very important,
Important artery up into the.
this is a major artery into Norwalk, is what it amounts to.
Gotta have a good bridge.
Okay, item number 8, consider approval of the federal aid agreement for congressionally directed funding project number HDP C091, parens 137-6B-91 with the Iowa Department of Transportation. Can you help us through what this is?
This was the first round of earmark funds that they went through in Washington. We applied with Senator Axney, or Congresswoman Axney, when she was in the House, and we were granted $1.6 million for the R-57 bridge just south of Norwalk. And we've had a few discussions over the last year about trying to get easements from the flood, but we finally got the federal aid agreement pushed through, and we have until next September to let it. So this just locks our funds up, and hopefully we can get our easements done so we can spend those funds. So
Okay,
it's a much-needed bridge improvement. It's a standard federal aid agreement.
okay. Any questions from board members regarding this?
I have no questions.
Nope.
Okay, take a motion to approve the federal aid agreement as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, roll call.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye. And then, next one, approval to review and appoint a county inspector for the Mid-American Pipeline through Warren County.
Okay, the board was sent a letter from Mid-American a few months ago, and it got down to our office. Mid-American's putting in, well, they're repairing a pipeline, increasing capacity of a pipeline, mostly in the city of Indianola, but it goes down to the river south of town. Iowa code states that it's the board's responsibility to appoint an inspector for the project. Now, the inspector is, from what I understand, just responsible for making sure that the contractor treats the ag land properly. So they make sure that everything's put back into place and that ag land is not destroyed. This inspector would be the main point of contact if any landowners have any issues with the construction. They'd come to the inspector, then we'd go through the proper channels. Like I said, this is the board's responsibility. So we've reached out to 2 different consultants, well 3, but we only got 2 quotes back. One was Clap Saddle Garber, and the other was McClure. Prices, I think we included in the board packet the 2 quotes. Prices aren't too far off. McClure's closer. Clap Saddle Garber was a little cheaper, but they'd probably require lodging. So they would invoice Warren County, the board would pay them, and then the board would invoice Mid-American to get reimbursed. So the funds are running through the county, but really the contractors are paying for it. It's a third-party inspection. I don't know if you've had any time to look through the agreements.
In these agreements, so there's no like total cost, because they don't really know how much inspecting services they're going to provide.
It's basically hourly. They're not, in charge of designing, or it's basically if you run into issues, if they go through a tile line, they got to make sure the tile line's repaired right and that everything, all the landowners are happy with it. They got to make sure they bring the farm fields back so they're not just backfilling with rock and clay. And
So which one is it that engineering is recommending that we go with?
McClure.
I think McClure, they're a little more expensive, but they don't have the lodging, and also they don't have in there like a minimum of 3 hours charged, even if they're not working. So those things add up if you get into a rainy situation. Like I said, everything's hourly.
Okay, so the motion then needs to be naming the firm or a specific individual.
It would be to approve the agreement for consulting services, and then we'll put out an announcement of who it is. We have a form in our office to send something out. Once you guys appoint a consultant firm, then we'll get a contact person for that firm, and everything will go through them.
Okay, there is a sample resolution at the end of the area here. Somebody want to take that on? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and move it.
I'll take it on.
Okay?
I haven't got there yet. I suppose it's really not.
It's right after the McClure.
Okay, I'll go ahead. Be it resolved that the Warren County Board of Supervisors hereby moves to review and appoint a county inspector for the Mid-American Pipeline through Warren County.
Second?
Okay. Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Heater,
Aye.
Snell,
Aye. Now, Tim, just to make sure, this resolution does not name McClure specifically. Did we need to include that at this point?
You guys just really need to agree to sign one of the consultant services agreement, and then that names McClure. Then we'll put out a letter in the newspaper saying that is, we have to follow the steps of Iowa code, how to notify the residents, and actually the inspector will do all that, so.
So do we need to have a second motion?
No, what you did was just fine. That covers the board
Okay.
agreeing to do the inspection part that we're required to by Iowa code.
I like that personally because it allows Tim the opportunity to dive into these two companies and maybe another company that would come, as he's making a selection, he'll be learning a lot. And I just leave it up to Tim I'd use his own judgment as he's working through it. That's
Okay.
how I would.
Like I said, all of these invoices will come to the board for payment. They won't run through the engineer's office, but we'll handle any questions with the consultant as they come up, so.
Okay. As long as we're satisfying the requirement. Okay. Okay. Now we're on item number 10, to receive and file reports. We have the recorder report here tonight. Somebody like to make a motion regarding receipt of the report?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to receive and file the report from the recorder.
We have a motion?
Second?
Second? Roll call.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Heater,
Aye.
Snell.
Aye. Okay. We'll file that report. And then we're on to the fun stuff. What's everybody been doing? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. All right, so I listened to the budget work sessions, attended 2 exploratory EMS committee meetings. Let me talk about this for a minute. The EMS exploratory committee there are 3 Iowa Code chapters which address EMS. And there are 3 different ways that we could approach this. So we have been weighing out all the options, and we decided not to ask the board to fund EMS upfront. If we pass it in November, then it will take effect in 2025 in September. And so if you'd like, I can discuss further about the EMS committee, or just wait until our presentation on March 19th. Oh, that's right, because it moved. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, you didn't want to hear any more, so, okay. I attended the Assessors Conference Board budget meeting, listened to the Board of Supervisors work session. It was the second one. It was budget requests by the different non-departments, and that's my report.
Darren?
I was also attended some budget work sessions and some internal staff meetings. I had a very nice meeting today with the city of Indianola regarding several matters. I've had a meeting with the auditor, just to go over some of the issues there and some things that potentially Mike can assist with. And that is my report. Thank you.
Like all of you, I've been engaged in a lot of budget work sessions here as well. I've had a couple of different meetings with the MPO in particular. They had a search process and have now hired a new executive director, Dylan Milenix, who actually all of us know. He's actually been here and met with us specifically at our work sessions. Anyway, he was the one that was ultimately decided. It was a unanimous decision by that board. I've also been engaged with conversations concerning the Warrencom and Westcom situation, trying to look at what options may be out there. Also attended the state meeting for county supervisors. We've also been involved, I've been involved with some legislation that has gone through subcommittee and made it through the funnel regarding Interstate 435 project. That is moving forward, and it's very positive. Representative Losey from the Polk County area is leading the charge on that, and our legislative delegation from Warren County has been also involved in that also. So it's moving through the process. Coming up this week, we have more HERDA meetings, impact meeting, and things. So it's going to be full steam ahead on a number of things. CERTPA, which is Central Iowa Rural Transportation Planning Agency, and also I will be attending Leadership Warren County activity up in Carlisle, and working with that group on Thursday evening. So that would be my report for today. Anything else that anybody else wants to bring to the order?
I'm going to be on vacation February, I don't know if this thing's working, but on vacation February 25th to March 3rd.
Okay. Okay, Crystal, anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Okay. This is a time now for us to have public input. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per individual. The board will not take any action on the comments due to the requirements of the open meeting law, but may do so in the future. No public input will be allowed for any of today's agenda items. Is there anybody that would like to speak, bring things to the public's attention? Seeing none, we'll move to the final item here, which is our next meeting is scheduled for March 5th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Got a motion and a second, roll call.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Snell?
Aye, meeting's adjourned, and we will reconvene here in about 5 minutes in the back